So I'm here today with Debbie Airey, and Debbie is the Managing Director of CCIB. CCIB is Country and Commercial Insurance Brokers, and they're part of the Brown and Brown Group. So welcome, Debbie. How are you?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
Great to have you. Yeah. Just kick off us and tell us a little bit about CCIB then.
Well, CCIB was born in 2007. I did a management buyout for my ex-business partners. We're a commercial insurance broker with a specialism in agriculture. I'm a farmer's daughter, so never set out to be a farm specialist, but it was just a natural lead because of my background and because of my ability to be able to speak, and deal with and understand agriculture, to a first-hand level. So we set off, and I saw a bit of a niche in the area. The NFU was a big major player in that area, so we basically sort of stepped in, got some relationships with some insurers, and we sort of worked from there. So we've grown and grown over the years. It sort of got to a stage where I needed some help. The business has sort of grown above me. So I did a deal in January 2018. I did a deal with a company called GRP, Global Risk Partners, and they helped me to take the business to the next level. They, with the FCA and the regulation and the staffing, and they opened the doors to a lot more markets for me. So it's sort of, I always say it was CCIB going to university. I took it to a certain level and I needed a bit of help to get it to the next level, which has been a fantastic move for me. So now I've moved on from there. Under their umbrella, we bought a couple of more businesses, Key Insurance Group in Longwich, Barpax down in Worcester. So they're under all, they're farm specialists as well. And at the end of this year, we're taking on another of GRP retail agricultural brokers over in Massam. So we've gone from there. I now do any agricultural stuff because the London boys tend to avoid the agricultural markets. I think you just have to have an interest or, know that area. So I do their head of national practices. So across the group, anybody with an interest in agriculture, I support. Agriculture itself is like a community, and what I've tried to base, Fab, one of my businesses that I set up in 2014, was a community of brokers where we shared resource, education and results in that area. And I just wanted to make us better at what we do, and that's what we did from there.
Good for you. Great journey.
So it's been, it has been a journey. That's a good word for it.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Congratulations. So what type of customers, clients, businesses are you dealing with? Obviously, a lot on the agricultural side.
We'll go for anything from your local builder, your local businesses, and until your much larger businesses. Obviously, can't drop any client names in at this point, but we can go up to your large corporate risks as well. So but anything on a commercial aspect. Agriculture is my passion, my interest, but I say having a brokerage the size that we have, we step into all. I like to sort of have a client within an hour. We do it, face-to-face meetings, and you develop a relationship so you understand their business from the grassroots. Yeah,
absolutely. And what would you say differentiates CCIB from other options that might be out there for anybody within the sphere of clients that you're dealing with?
Well, I mean, we are part of the Brown and Brown Group, the 5th largest insurance broker in the world now, which is sort of like astounds me more than anybody else. But it's, so we have the options, we have that size behind us. But Brown and Brown's message is, they're a large company, want to feel like a small company. Each of my clients and customers, and we have relationships for many years. Our retention of our business is very high. It's because of your personal relationships that you have with them. The biggest attribute I think I have is that I care. You care about every, whether it doesn't matter how much they're paying me, you care to do a good job. And that was the reason, Fab was an add-on business where we just wanted to educate more people. So, you care more about it. And then I think people realize once you have that passion for it and when you care, they're very loyal to you as well.
And what is it that inspires you to have that care and passion?
I think it's just within people, and you just want to do the best you can. I mean, you go and sit, and I always say, you can go and sit in somebody's house and have a cup of tea, and they're trusting you to give them the very best advice. So, you know, what you've got to do is you've got to know that you're giving them the very best advice and the best price that you can, and have confidence, because I wouldn't sleep at night if you didn't. So, you know, it's just that's what makes it a difference. And all my team at CCIB, you know, it sort of starts from the top and it goes down. Everybody, you know, even ever since, you know, we went through lockdown, that which was horrific. But we all came back into the office as soon as we could, because I all call this my work family. You know, so your work family. So everybody, so if you care from the top, all my staff, you know, I've got a fantastic team behind me that all have the same values that I do. Yeah, I think that makes us the edge.
Brilliant, brilliant. So what does the future hold? Obviously, you've been on a fantastic journey so far. What's ahead? What are the opportunities? What are the challenges?
I mean, there's always a challenge, you know, there's always something going on, and there's always something you can improve on and be better. You know, technology is coming in to the market, you know, and I have a young team following me behind, because, you know, they're much better at technology than I am. You know, I will steer the ship as long as I'm able. You know, I think the thought of retiring puts my husband into dread, because I'm always having to do something. I think, you know, I have 4 children of my own and 3 stepchildren. So, you know, there's always something going on. There's always something. I've now got my first grandchild, but I still works has been so much a massive part of my life that, you know, the thought of retiring, as most people would like look forward to it, I wouldn't. And I've said to the team here, even if I ever did retire, which is no time soon, I would still be coming back. I'd still be coming back to keep an eye on them, to make sure everybody was all right.
So give us a bit of your wisdom. What have you learned along the way, Deborah?
I mean, it's keep it simple, you know, and what we built the foundation on of the business. You know, we started off with second-hand laptops. You know, the first day, we're not a customer in the world. And you built it on. Nowadays, people tend to try and run before they can walk. They try and get to the next stage, but, you know, you've got to have a solid foundation, because there's things that have happened along the way, you know, and experience that you've had. But, you know, we've always had a solid foundation. So when those hiccups come along, you know, it's not going to take you down. A lot of people want to go to the next stage, and, you know, and genuinely, I just think you need to say what you do on the tin, you know, keep it simple. If, you know, and I say to my staff, just if you make a promise, you know, keep to it. If you're going to tell a client you ring them back, you do exactly what you say you're going to do. And that, do you know what, and that exceeds people's expectations, because they don't expect it anymore. You know, a lot of businesses out there, I'm a big believer that working in an office is the better environment. I think a lot of people now are advocating working from home, but they're missing that, you know, that family, you know, the support network in an office. You know, how can you teach your young staff if they're all working from home? How can you pass your wisdom and knowledge down, you know, if they're working from home? But then if you're having a bad day, you can pick up on it, and you're there for them, because you're only as good as your team. You know, you're only as good as your weakest member of team. So if you have a fantastic team behind you, you're always going to do well. They make you look good.
Great learnings to share that. Thank you, Debbie. One last question then. Bit of a hypothetical one, this. If you could turn the clock back, knowing what you now know, and I know you've had a fantastic journey, and you're in a great place right now, but knowing what you now know, what might you do differently if you had that opportunity?
It's a really tough question, because each time you've made a mistake or you've made an error, you've learned from it. So, you know, I have had a fantastic journey. You know, I am amazed at where it's actually achieved. I never believed when I set off that CCIB would be on the New York Stock Exchange. You know, who would have thought it? But every issue that we faced, I am a problem solver. I am, you know, I do get the job done. So I think even the mistakes you've made have got to be the learning. So I wouldn't, I love my job. I'm passionate about it. I care about my team. I care about my customers. So genuinely, I just think I'm very fortunate, because, yeah, and then people say, if you love your job, you never work a day in your life. And that's how I feel, really.
Good for you. Keep enjoying it.
I will do.
Thanks, Debbie.
All right. Take care. Thank you.